and Elise. I think it's only fair. I was excited when I was told I'd get a chance to be the MC tonight. And I always get nervous to public speak. I mean, some of you might find that a surprise. I have to run a speech 100,000 times before I actually do it. I'm a C personality, I'm not an extrovert. But I was really excited about this because if you think about this group in the room, this is really Sidcor's brain trust here. There's recruiters, assistant managers, owners, consultants, and basically the top people from Sidcor. This is not a national conference. This is not Nashville. There's no new guy here to impress. This is a mature group of people that have all proven something to get here. So tonight I thought I'd take a few filters off of a speech that I wrote and just deliver it to you like the real goods. Okay? It's not going to be that funny, I promise. There are two keys. I really have to think about it. I mean, it's a significant amount of money. There's two keys that really have worked for me that I want to share with you guys. And the first one is mindset. The mindset of a successful business person regarding little choices that we have to make every day. And I think there's two paths here. It's doing what we feel like doing and doing what we must do. Too often, we don't go in the field when we should. Too often, our guys aren't making money and we want to blame the client or blame Sidcor. Too often, we leave our offices when we shouldn't. Too often, we take a vacation when we shouldn't. Too often, we take care of the C priorities and neglect the A priorities. Too often, we punch in a 12-hour workday when we really only work 4. Too often, we expect other people to fix our HR needs. So I ask myself, why do we do this? I mean, is it possible that we don't like being held accountable? I mean, we're bosses of our own companies. The last time I checked the Sidcor ICL agreement, it didn't say that I had to work hard. And it didn't say that I'm going to have a camera in the office that Jim and Gary are going to be spying on my office. I have choices to make, and is it possible that I just don't like being held accountable? Is it possible I don't want a promoting owner or a consultant getting in my grill, and I want to be left alone because I'm the boss? Is it possible that some of us believe that our #1 job description as owners is to display an envious lifestyle to our guys and spend money that we shouldn't be spending? I mean, heaven forbid we have people quit in our companies because the owner is working too hard. You know, I think about Larry Bird, and early on in his career, his coaches and his agent had to have a crucial conversation with him. He's this rookie guy, and he's diving for loose balls when the Celtics are up 20 points with 5 minutes left in the game. It's a preseason game, and he's on the floor tackling another guy for the ball. So his agent pulls him aside and says, "Listen, Larry, if you're going to have an extended career in the NBA, you can't go diving for loose balls when there's 5 minutes left in the game and the team's going to win. When it's a playoff game and it's game 7 against the Lakers, of course you got to do that kind of stuff. But if you want to have a long career in the NBA, you can't do that." I'm sure Larry appreciated the dialogue and appreciated the conversation. He thought about it, and with all due respect, he says, "I only know how to play basketball one way, and that's full speed. I'm sorry, I know no other way to play basketball. So if it's practice and there's a loose ball, I'm diving for it." The guy got 3 championships and 13, not 20, he only had 13 magnificent years in the NBA. We all worked our asses off to get into this room. There's no exception. This isn't Nashville. I know in a few months we're going to be in Nashville. There are people that did nothing to get to Nashville. We know what's going to happen. New guy, hey, this means I'm going to be a senior national consultant. And the guy quits on Monday. We all know that's going to happen. Nashville, here we come, right? This is keys to success. Woo! We all, at some point in time, worked our butts off to get here. Is it possible that our best work ethic was displayed when we were an account rep in somebody else's office? I mean, think about that. Are we trying to extend our careers by not working too hard? While I'm an owner, I only know how to play the game one way. There will come a point in time, when my example isn't needed. But that means I won't be an ICL owner at that time. I can be a consultant and my example will change, but while I'm in the game, I only play one speed, Larry Bird way. I want to give you guys a quote. Some of you guys have probably read this book. I think most of us have the book Relentless by Tim Grover. Okay? I couldn't put it down. Here's a quote by Tim Grover. I know you've absorbed a lifetime of advice about this. Love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. Or, love what you do and the money will follow. That may be true for some people, but not for a cleaner. The idea of loving what he does would mean he was content. And a cleaner is never, ever content. Cleaners understand they don't have to love the work to be successful, they just have to be relentless about achieving it. And everything else in between is a diversion and a distraction from the ultimate prize. To an athlete, it means endless hours in the gym training and sweating and hurting. To a business owner, it's the time away from home and family, sacrificing a personal life for professional gain. For the teacher, it might mean untold, unpaid hours getting every student through 4 years of high school and into college. The result is all that matters. In my mind, success as an owner lies in doing the little things that others don't want to do and aren't willing to do. Be relentless about succeeding. That is key one. Key number two is I honestly believe I have an advantage, a competitive advantage. And I believe that there's a group of people in this room that share this competitive advantage. And unfortunately, for a lot of other people, you don't have it. I honestly believe that I have the best game in town. If a college graduate is coming into my office and they have an opportunity to work at Google, or they have an opportunity to work in my company, without any question, it is a better choice to come work with me. Now, why, you may ask? Glad you asked. Let me share this with you. First of all, the experience. Before the opportunity glasses come on, the experience. If we have people give our business, and you're running a pure business, 1 year of their life, that is not a wasted year. They will grow from the people skills, the sales skills, the recruiting skills, the problem-solving skills, the leadership development skills. They're basically getting their masters in business. Most young people, they don't know what they want to do for the rest of their lives. That's why you come here and you're going to get the ultimate preparation for the real world if you give this 1 year. You are so lucky to get into my business. Now, if you put the opportunity glasses on, that's reason number two. There's a real career path here with significant wealth creation. I mean, we're giggling up here on stage like another 50 grand, another 60 grand. It's ridiculous. This is just a bonus. All of us are trying to figure out how to pay less taxes from all this money that just gets deposited into our accounts. Well, how about all the other money? I ran an ICL last year that generated $2.8 million. I made almost $1 million running an office. Forget about the overrides. So it's possible. There's a significant financial career here, and you don't even have to get to consultant to reap the benefits. As I'm watching my friend Eric pick up a $90,000 bonus check. And he's only been an owner for 2 going on 3 years. This will be his 3rd year in the Million Club. How old are you, Eric?
27.
He's 27 years old. This is a crazy business. Aside from the craziness of the wealth creation, there is a super high sense of worth. I get the privilege of developing people. Plenty of people in this room I get the privilege to mentor. My dad was a high school math teacher for 37 years. He didn't get a lot of pay, he didn't get the big financial gain as a school teacher, but he got the job satisfaction off the charts. Over the years, people would go to college, they'd graduate, they'd get good jobs, and they'd come back and thank my dad. 37 years, thousands of kids went through his little farm, if you will. I get the same job satisfaction my dad has. What else in the world could I do that's going to give me a greater sense of worth than what I'm doing here? So there is a real career path. The third thing in the advantage is this is a business with real leadership. And I don't think it's talked about often enough. We are lucky to have Jim Majeski and Gary Polson mentor us. Okay? We are lucky. Ask those that have left our business. Ask those that have gone on to other similar companies or tried to start their own business on their own or just got into corporate America. Apparently, these kind of leaders aren't that common from my understanding. Think about the philanthropy. Now, Operation Smile, we've done amazing things. Before Operation Smile came into the mix, do you not think there was a lot of philanthropy with these 2 gentlemen? The Majeski Foundation, I don't know how many thousands of people that these guys have helped. Gary nurturing and taking care of the less fortunate in Los Angeles, I've seen it. They've introduced philanthropy into our culture. The personal growth and education we get to experience. What blows me away is those 2 guys don't even think they're good at what they're doing yet. They're still in college. Now they've graduated, I think, okay? But they're still going to school. They don't think they're good enough yet. Their thirst for knowledge is passed into our culture. Has anybody here not taken the Franklin Covey Focus class? Has anybody not taken situational leadership? Has anybody not done disc profiling? Where do you think that comes from? Their thirst for knowledge is passed on to us in our culture, that they're passing us tremendous skills. I've had an opportunity to take the skills that they've taught me and get into the nonprofit world with the Boys and Girls Club and been a game changer there. And it is amazing how you can take the skills you learn here, apply to the nonprofit, and be a badass in that industry. Years ago, they bought back Sidcorp. Golden Gate Capital owned Sidcorp. We had a big meeting, I don't know when it was, 4 years ago, something like that. All the consultants were in a room, and a lot of emotions started happening. People were teary-eyed, and they got watches and stuff, and I really didn't know what that meant. I didn't know, what is it, they bought Sidcorp back. What was the problem with Sidcorp in the first place? Jim was still the president and Gary was still the CEO. So I asked Jim after the meeting, I'm like, hey, what does that mean? What does that mean for us? What does that mean for you guys? And he had tears in his eyes and he said, hey, Jamie, we just noticed you guys were starting to have families. You guys were all getting married. You guys were all starting to have babies. You guys are our family, and we felt an obligation to take care of you guys and your families and give you control of your businesses, so we felt we had to do that. I mean, how many people in their shoes would have done that? They could have easily sold out. Easily. This $4 million, this didn't exist 3 years ago, 4 years ago. This is $4 million out of the bottom line. Imagine as an ICL owner, I'm just going to take 10 grand off my bottom line because I feel like being Santa Claus. That usually doesn't happen. They took $4 million out of their wallets to open it up. They took another $1 million to give to new ICLs to give them a better chance in their first year. Who does that? I think we take this for granted. I have become a Sidcorp junkie, and it gives me an advantage. If there is a slight possibility that you're not going to be here this time next year, if there's that slight chance, if there's that slight doubt, if you're not completely all in, you do not have the same advantage that I do. You're showing up to the fight with a broken rib. Those of us that have the advantage are showing up to the fight with a bazooka. And we're going to win that fight. So I'm going to close this speech on this note. Get your swag on, get confident, and hashtag get mean in 2015. Now, as your host tonight, I want to thank you all for coming to Dallas. I thought it was a great show. The morning I thought was unbelievable. John welling up, getting tears. Brandy, very emotional. The McGee's, this is just a brilliant piece to success. I'm very proud to be a part of today. Please tonight be respectful of the other guests in the hotel, especially chatter in the hallways, chatter in the rooms. There's other people staying here, and yes, we've already received one complaint last night. Okay, just a little too loud. So if you're going to be loud and crazy, you might want to do it somewhere out here, or maybe in this room we can bring the dancers back and get a little crazy. And Ed is going to climb this thing right after, so stick around. Get to know each other, share ideas, get committed, and yes, get mean in 2015. Thank you very much.